Big round of applause as we unveil the product for you. Lara, may I request you to stand there and please point the remote so that the product comes out from behind. Are you guys ready? Let's give it a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's come closer to the product. I'm Sunil Kitaria from Godrej. Hi Mahesh. Hi Lara. Can you just come closer to the product? Thoda piche. Is it go? Can you go this back a little? Yeah, I think it's a very interesting product. आपको किस तरफ चाहिए बोलिए so we can come stand this side yeah do that come here yeah we can start the discussion now.
Yes, we can start the discussion. Mukesh, ले लो ना.
Please. Godrej Consumer Products Limited, and let me just quickly do some introductions while actually many of them don't need any introductions. Well, first of all, we all know Lara Dutta, who's a leading Indian actress, a model, and who has been Miss Universe 2000. So I think let's give her a big clap anyway. Then we have Mahesh with us, Mahesh Bhupathi. I think, again, no introduction required, but let me just do a bit of round of honor. The better half of Lara is okay, that's the first introduction. He's the better half of Lara. And he's the first Indian to win a Grand Slam tournament. And that's an amazing achievement. And with his win at Australian Open, mixed doubles in 2006, he joined the elite group of 8 tennis players who have achieved a career Grand Slam in mixed doubles. And that, I think, is an amazing achievement and something we all Indians can be very, very proud of. And lastly, we have Dr. Muklesh Sanklecha with us. He's a great work at studies in the area of child development and progress. So welcome, Dr. Mukesh, as well.
Thanks.
So, Mahesh, maybe I'll need you to be a little ahead. So, a discussion on this thing. See, one of the things that, the context of this whole panel discussion is that India, the country, we've been facing a huge challenge in vector-borne disease. And, we read about these whole cases of dengue and chikungunya, which are just spreading even the biggest cities to small towns. And one of the studies which we did, and we find out that one of the things which people don't know in India is that, oh, how can I let my child go out to play? That becomes a very, very big concern for most mothers. So, tell me one thing, from your point of view, Lara, how important it is for a child to actually, and you're a mother yourself, and how important do you think it's for a child to actually be able to free to go out to play rather than sitting at home?
I think we grew up, both Mahesh and I, we grew up in a generation where you came back from school, you threw your school bag down, you ate whatever was put on the table for you, and then you were out of the door. And then you came back when the street lights came on or when it was dark, getting dark, and you came back to do your homework, have your dinner, prepare for school the next day and go to sleep. So we spent a considerable amount of our lives outdoors, especially Mahesh. He played tennis since the time he was 3 years old. So he was on a court, perpetually. But I really find, ever since I did become a mother, that one of the hardest things for us, one is, of course, an environment in a city like Mumbai, in an urban landscape. Where do you send your child to play?
Yeah.
So the children are either playing downstairs in the building, or if you're living in a bungalow, sending them out, out of the gate is impossible because it's right on the road. Otherwise, they go to the parks and play. So the environment. 2 is safety. Is your child safe, when they're out there playing? And 3 is exactly and rightly, as you said, are they going to be exposed to, kind of sicknesses, diseases, things that, apart from minor cuts and bruises that children get, but the more, riskier things, the more dangerous things like dengue, like chikungunya, like malaria. And so this is a very, very key factor for any mom. And I was saying it earlier on upstairs when we were having this chat. I said one of the things is, we get up every day and we have our baths and we put on moisturizers. Our children today are putting on, mosquito repellent because you can't actually have a normal, regular day without being protected. And as you said, people are largely unaware about the fact that dengue is actually spread by a mosquito that, operates, if you want to use the word, in daytime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lara, for that. Doctor, you've been doing a lot of research on child development and progress. How much role do you think kids playing outdoors and going outdoors plays in the development of a child at an early stage?
Oh, I think it's a huge issue. There are 2 aspects that you talk of when a child goes out to play. One is the effect it has on his physicality, in terms of his activity, his fitness, in terms of obesity. There is a huge epidemic in the US where almost 30% of children are obese. And it's rapidly coming into India. We find a contradiction in this country. We have extreme poverty, abject poverty and malnourished children. And at the opposite extreme, we have children from affluent areas who are obese. So in terms of obesity, it's a major issue. In terms of development of major and subtle motor skills, going out is important. Not just that, that is the health aspect. The other major issue is the psychological aspect that a child has when he goes out to play. In terms of winning, in terms of losing, in terms of waiting for his turn, following rules in a game, in terms of his overall development in that time, in terms of peer interaction, interacting with children from different strata, somebody who's affluent, somebody who's poor, taking care of smaller children, following advice from bigger children, learning new games. So I think the potential for education in an unstructured manner is incomparable in natural everyday evening play. I remember when I was a small child, normal football class before that, they are in school from 9 to 3, they come back home, they go for tuitions, and by the time they are back, they're exhausted, and there is no time for natural unstructured play. If you talk about safety, you don't stop crossing.
Which say that when they ask children as to what are your preferences today in terms of going out to play, going to a park, going to a mall, 20% of kids actually choose mall and only 12% choose park. Now that's a bit of a real tragedy of our times. So just one thing, suppose this is your time and Lara was mentioning you were playing tennis since 3. Imagine a childhood with video games for you. Imagine a childhood with digital for you. Could we have seen you becoming a world champion? What is your perspective on this?
No, obviously not. I think, I think a lot of this has to do with the upbringing itself. I think, like Lara said, both of us were brought up in an environment where we were always encouraged to go out and play. Obviously, for me, it was a little different. I had no choice. I was on the tennis court literally 7 days a week. And that's how we bring up our daughter as well. We're fortunate to have a garden, and, Saira started playing tennis now for the last few months. So, yeah, when she goes out, we make sure that she's protected, and just for the record, it's not only a mother's concern, it's a father's concern as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and whatever we use or have been using hasn't really always been 100% foolproof. She still comes back sometimes bitten, and we're looking forward to trying this new product on her, and hopefully it fixes those problems.
Oh, that's great. So Lara, what do you think from being a mother? What kind of awareness there should be created to, because this is something which, as I said, 90% of India doesn't even know that dengue is a day mosquito.
No, of course. You know, we've been talking about children, and you know, exactly like Doc said, that it's very, very important. Most of your social, you know, interactions, the social skills that you learn, the social skills that a child learns in their formative years are learned on the playground. You know, rightly so, to share toys, to wait your turns.
That's right.
You know, to understand different socio-economic groups, to understand that, you know, children might come from different backgrounds, but at that age, they're all still kids. So this, for us as a parent, was extremely important, you know, that Saira learned these skills, which is not something that we could teach her at home.
Sure.
And Mahesh and I spend, you know, about 8 weeks in the UK whenever he's there for Wimbledon and the Queen's tournament before that, Queen's Club tournament. And that was actually the only time when Saira was really little that we were able to send her out, you know, to play. And I noticed a marked difference in the motor skills between the kids who, you know, that was a daily routine for them. And they spent all of that time in a playground. And then what Saira was able to do at the same age group, you know, a marked difference in motor skills especially. And Mahesh always has this argument, ever since I've met him, you know, he always says it's very difficult in our country to raise a singles Grand Slam champion. You know, he says because genetically for us and the environment, we don't have the environment to be able to provide the kids, you know, the facilities and everything that they require to make it. But I think this is one of the key things, because like you said, the kids would rather go to a mall, go to a movie, or sit with their iPads or some sort of a screen in front of them. You know, so as a mom, for me, making sure that she gets enough playtime outdoors, like I said, that she's safe, yes, protected in a protected environment, but more than that, that the child is free to play, you know, and she's not worried about being bitten, being stung, or, you know, coming back sick, because now, I mean, she's in school full time, and I'm pretty sure most parents over here who have children know the process of getting your kid into the school of, you know, at least the wish list choice that you have. And then once the children are in school, you can't really have them, you know, having a lot of sick leave and days and things like that off. So if a child is going to go out, go into an environment which is supposed to be a fun, you know, relaxing time for her, and then come back sick, you know, it puts you into this vicious cycle where as a mother and as a parent, it's a nightmare to deal with.
Definitely, yes.
So for us, you know, we were saying this earlier, and if I may say this right now, somebody asked me, so what have you been doing for Saira? What have you been using? And I said that we were using, she has extremely sensitive skin, so I couldn't put anything directly onto her skin for the longest time. So we used, which for us was not easily available in the Indian market here, which was, you know, just the patches that went onto the clothing. But again, there's sometimes what we did get over the counter in India was, you know, natural based, which I was very, you know, specific on. But the citronella smell was so strong and overpowering that I couldn't sit next to her, forget about the child living with it the entire time, you know. So that was a problem. And then you couldn't get anything in the market. So we actually used patches that we bought whenever we traveled abroad. You know, and it's an expensive proposition.
Yeah, right.
I mean, for us, it may be easily, you know, not so bad and is probably affordable, but for most people, it was ridiculously expensive.
That's right. In fact, it costs something 15 rupees a patch or something. Incidentally, while we're talking of fabric roll-on here, we also have launched patches which are just costing. So, Doctor, one thing, you know, we've seen media, a lot of this talk about, you know, keeping Swachh Bharat, which is a very good initiative, I think, by the Prime Minister, but keeping your outdoors clean, taking precaution on not having still waters, even in your plants, etc., to prevent dengue prevention. Why do you think media has really never been able to talk about taking personal repellents as a preventive measure?
Yeah, see,
where does you think is missing the whole link?
Firstly, apart from the mosquito which bites in the day, which causes dengue, Zika also, in addition to chikungunya, it's also a freshwater mosquito, unlike the malaria mosquito, which is stale water mosquito. So not only do you not have to have stale water, you don't have any water anywhere, however clean it is. So the emphasis is on that direction. Can you repeat the question again, please?
So my question is that normally media
is not there yet that you need a repellent in the day.
Yeah.
We have all spoken about burning mats and liquidators in the night time at bedtime, because traditionally it has been malaria and the malaria mosquito. Just now, under me. So the movement, the focus has not yet shifted from evening and nighttime protection to daytime protection. So if the child is in the room and you need nighttime protection, there are a huge number of devices available to daytime protection. This is the step where you need more products that are to be used every day in the daytime when the child is out, on the cloth, on the skin. So therefore, now that the realization is coming in society that
that's a point.
daytime protection is important, I'm sure the media will pick this up and will make it obvious to the community that this is where the focus should shift.
Product is so unique that mother of this product now.
See, I'll tell you the three things that immediately stood out to me. One is that it's 8 hours of protection.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not something that you have to constantly reapply. So once it's on, you know that at least the child, while the child is in school for the entire time or going out to play, that the child is protected for that duration of time. Second, like you said, it's a fabric roll-on. So it's nice, for me it works perfectly because with a child with sensitive skin, I don't have to put anything directly onto her skin. The third thing, it's very simple, but only a mom can think of this. I like the fact that it has a loop on the top because that allows me to connect it onto my handbag or, her handbag. So if I'm on the go with my child and if it's not about leaving this at home, this goes with me no matter where I go.
In fact, I think, thank you, Lara, that's a very important insight. And in fact, I'll tell you one of the reasons we have given this is because while we don't have it here, this is going to come with a keychain actually, this product. So that exactly the same thing, you can put it in the backpack or the school bag of your child and the child can carry it everywhere.
Lara, where do you put the patch? When you put a patch on the child?
See, normally I put it on the back, so to the back. So also because when they're smaller, they can't remove it because it's something.
How many times does it happen? Child comes back from school minus the patch?
Sure, many times. Many times over.
Yeah, so roll-on, that risk is not there. Because children are extremely mischievous. If she doesn't take it out, somebody else will do that for her.
Yeah.
So Mahesh, what do you think? Now, how does this product look for you? You feeling good about this product, that this is something really innovative?
Yeah, as Lara said, I think, we're looking forward to trying it out, and, there's so many benefits to having not only a product that's affordable, but, like she says, no, we don't have to apply it on the skin and so on and so forth. So we're looking forward to trying it on.
Thank you so much. And one last question maybe for Mahesh for you.
I might steal some of Zaira's and put some on quite regularly myself.
We're going to give you a lot of them. That's not a problem. Mahesh, you've been, you're one of the best champions India has produced. Maybe for the media and for all of us. And since we are today talking as a kid when enjoying outdoors.
I spent my whole life outdoors. I think over 50% of my life has been outdoors because I've been on the tennis court most of my life. So I don't know if it'll be a biased answer. I mean, it's not, you can't compare it to, I guess, everyday people. But, for me, from playing tennis before going to school to going straight from school onto the tennis court with my dad, my whole life was outdoors. And, these kind of luxuries that you guys are manufacturing today, we didn't have 20, 25 years ago. So, sure, I had all the diseases, all the kids picked up while we were growing up. And, hopefully, we can, slow that down at least.
I think Mahesh has raised a very valid point. I think we have to put our fears a little on the back stand. I think we are becoming overprotective about our children.
That's right. Yeah. So I think it's a very candid kind of conversation, and I think Mahesh has given us some great insights of what it is all about to be outdoors. Some amazing insights which only a mom can give, Lara. That I can really see because we've seen while doing this product, we did a lot of researches with moms. I can tell you some of the points that you're talking about all came out of that. In fact, this loop came out of that mom research only, which only a mom can think of. It didn't strike us that we need to give a keychain. And I think, Doctor, thank you very much for making such a fantastic perspective on how we really need to put our fears aside. And I think the whole point which I just want to sum up and close the discussion here is that for kids, it's very important to go and enjoy the outdoors and live a full life while parallelly working on their studies and trying to focus on career. We need to make them complete, rounded people. And in that, we have to put our fears aside, and we need to tell them, khul ke jiyo, ghar ke bahar. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much. And I thank you all of you for being here in the discussion. So any questions, we can open the house for discussion. Yeah, we can have a question here.
Hello, good afternoon to all. This is for
we can have
Lara Dutta. I'd like to ask you how safe are these products for daily use? Is there any chemical inside?
I'm not the manufacturer of the product, so that would have to be.
So I'll give the answer to that maybe. In fact, maybe that's something which I mentioned in the beginning. It's a product, if you see on this pack, the biggest thing which is written on this is 100% natural. This product has no chemical into it. It's 100% natural active. It is made of eucalyptus oil, in fact, inside. And it is also recommended by pediatricians. And in the pack, very clearly claims child safe. So this is a 100% natural active product.
And is there an expiry date for that?
This lasts for how long? 2 years. So it's a 2-year product.
And my question to you is, there's malaria, dengue, everything is going on. Is it good for your company?
Okay, first of all, we don't look at. Okay, so let me tell you a thing. We don't take enjoyment of actually, making people ill. That's not the business we are in. Because first of all, we are not only an insecticide company. And Godrej is a brand which is what internally we call ourselves a 118 years young brand. And I think we don't need to introduce Godrej as a brand. Trust is something which we value a lot. And we are not only an insecticide company. But having come to your question, our mission is really to be in insecticides to make a category which helps India solve the problem of vector-borne diseases. And I can tell you, you talk to anybody in our company, that's something which as a social cause will live with. Now, if these diseases happen, it leads to more sale, that to mind is financial quarterly answers. But the bigger purpose for us for making this product, we also made, for example, Goodnight Fast Card 2 years back, which is that paper product which burns in 1 rupee. We made it for rural areas in India. Now, the reason for making these products which don't exist anywhere else is that we want to help our country somehow fight this vector-borne disease, which are becoming a very big challenge. Having said, yeah, when these incidences happen, it do lead to pickup of sales. But that doesn't make us any happier.
Hello?
Product.
Hi, is this product will be available online on like sites like Amazon, Flipkart?
Yeah, this product, have you already started selling? Yeah, we already got listed across all online sites, and the product is already got distributed across the country in a large part of general trade, modern trade, and yes, it's gone listing on online as well.
One more. So Lara just said that the smell used to really bother her. So I haven't used this yet, obviously. So does it have a bothering smell, the eucalyptus?
No, it's got a very different kind of a smell because, again, the fragrance is something which we tested. In fact, one of the biggest things that we tested very rigorously. We would have tested 5 different fragrances across consumers when we made product. There were 5 different fragrances. And finally, this fragrance is one which is, and you will never get a 100% score ever on any fragrance because fragrance is something which is very subjective. Like none of us, if 100 people are here, you will get maybe 10 to 15 different perfumes which will be liked by people here. So that's one thing which we have to keep in mind. We have got a score of something like around, on that fragrance, 75% people gave it #1 score. So we've gone with that. Yeah. Yeah, there's a video.
हाँ हटा दे
Yeah, okay, ठीक है, okay. So we're done.